yo, I got a resolution. This year I'm playing right. No 615 this year. Yeah, you can stay tonight. We can go bowling. It ain't like before. Can't y'all see that I'm growing? I was so immature. I was young and having money. Having honeys come to the crib digging this shit, and they couldn't get cab money from me. Some bad chicks didn't get past the bridge. I went to One Trump Plaza on their asses. No room service, just snacks and shit. Work with those little Debbies. When you done, get ready. But chicks I was fiending to smash. Let them lean on the cash. Would take them on long trips, then break them with long dick. There was no such thing as strong relationships. But I'm off that player shit. I need a chick that practice Tai Chi, still can buy weed and give me some good head, and I'll make her remind me.
What is up, guys? Welcome to another edition of Maximilian Must Know. Summer is already here, and I'm going to be doing my first summer flanker episode. I guess that's sort of another hallmark of a reviewer, I guess. And I'm not big on summer flankers. I've owned a few in my lifetime, including a CK1 summer flanker and one from Jean-Paul Gaultier's Le Male. But that's about it. It's much more likely that I'll buy a sport or aqua fragrance than a summer flanker, and I'm not sure why that is, if it's just the way I react to marketing or what. But I decided to specifically, for this show, this year, pick one up. And I wanted a current one. I didn't want to have to go to the back channels of FragranceNet or Beauty Encounter to get an older one. I wanted something for this summer, and the choice of what were available to me at the time were pretty much Burberry Summer 2013, which I thought was okay, but nothing special. Also, Jean-Paul Gaultier's Le Male 2013. Again, not great, the summer edition. And I just picked up a Le Male flanker about a month ago. I picked up Le Fleur de Male. So I decided to pass on that as well. And then I came across this guy at Bloomingdale's, Issey Miyake's Summer 2013. And I loved the bottle, sniffed it out. I also had watched Redolescence's review on it. He did a great review on it. And I wanted to try it. And I really enjoyed its watery, bright, fruity tones, and decided to add it to my collection. It basically won the contest of the summer flankers in 2013. Now, I'm sure many of you guys are familiar with Issey Miyake. He's a very talented Japanese designer from Hiroshima who actually survived the horrible bombing that happened in World War II. And he went on to study art and graphic design in Tokyo in the 1960s, and in 1970 founded the Miyake Design Studio, which was a high-end women's fashion house. Eventually, he became a master pleater and making clothes that really took advantage of cutting and sewing pleated pieces. And Steve Jobs of Apple Computers was a huge fan of Miyake's work, and those signature black turtlenecks that Jobs would wear during the Apple keynote were famously designed by Miyake. And I read the Walter Isaacson biography of Jobs, which is just a fantastic book. And Jobs would buy the turtlenecks by the hundred from Miyake. So think very minimal clothing design, simple, sort of dark and earthy colors is the Miyake signature look. Now in '92, the Miyake brand decided to start introducing fragrances. And they started with a women's fragrance which was called L'Eau d'Issey, created by the famous perfumer Jacques Cavalier. The bottle was designed by Miyake himself and was meant to look like the moon on top of the Eiffel Tower as he saw it from his apartment window in Paris in 1994. Miyake then went on to release L'Eau d'Issey for men, and it was a striking hit. And again, really revolutionary in two ways. Firstly, there were a ton of citrus fragrances out at the time. The early 90s was sort of a time when these citrus-forward men's fragrances really rose to dominance. And while bergamot and orange and lemon and grapefruit and lime and even neroli were being done left and right, no one had really experimented with the yuzu, which is a sort of Japanese citrus fruit that they sort of use it the same way we use a lemon. And so L'Eau d'Issey was the first yuzu citrus fragrance, and the public adored it. So that was the first way it was sort of groundbreaking. And then the minimal bottle design reflected the aesthetic of Miyake's work as a designer. And because I think of the way it was marketed, the bottle, the beautiful bottle, and the striking fragrance inside of it, that sort of sour, fresh fragrance, it's one of the top 10 best-selling fragrances of all time. I believe it was number 6 on the list that I took a look at. Now, since L'Eau d'Issey, there hasn't been much else in terms of hits or innovation from Miyake. There's been flanker after flanker and a few attempts at stepping outside of L'Eau d'Issey. They did a blue Issey fragrance, which is okay, but nothing's really stuck at all. So if you're looking for different stuff from Miyake, you've got to look to the flankers, and fans seem to be very happy with the annual summer releases. that focus on a different ingredient every year. And this year, it's the kiwi fruit. And I'm a really big fan of kiwi fruits. I like them. I think that I always like them in fruit salads. And this year's scent was composed by Alberto Morales, who has quite the resume. He's done scents like 212 for Carolina Herrera, Light Blue for Men by Dolce & Gabbana, M7 for Yves Saint Laurent, and he's done CK1. So he's a perfume all-star. I believe this fragrance is only sold in this size and is going to run you $64. And again, it's a limited edition for the summer of 2013. I picked mine up at Bloomingdale's on East 59th Street, which is right across the street from where I work. So it's very... it's a sort of a fatal attraction for me, if you will. It's very easy for me to run out and spend money. And let's just take a look at the bottle and box very quickly. It's a huge bottle. I don't think I can get into the whole thing on my camera. Sort of the regular Issey Miyake bottle, but the difference here is you have obviously a clear bottle with the kiwi fruit on it, and instead of the regular fragrance has like a brushed aluminum cap, this is a completely clear one. And then you've got your sprayer is sort of like a rusty, I would call it, day glow green on the outside. You've sort of got that lime green inside the sprayer, and it's a nice sprayer. It comes out, really nicely. And again, beautiful clear bottle with some information like batch code and that bullshit on the bottom. And then your box is a beautiful, really just gorgeous, striking box. It's got the beautiful kiwi fruit on it. Again, batch code is pressed on here. You got your barcode, some ingredients. Nothing on the back. Well, actually more ingredients again, and then just again the art on the rest of the bottle. So this is a bottle that if you're in the store, to me at least, I think it's going to capture your attention. It does a great job on that. Now, notes on this fragrance are going to be, your top notes are going to be kiwi, grapefruit, and coriander. Your middle notes are going to be pineapple and nutmeg, and your base notes are going to be vetiver and cypress. Very, very simple fragrance, guys. Close to the original Luda EC, but there is a kind of beautiful sweet and sour vibe that shines through here. And because it's transparent, that sweet and sour vibe, it's very light and pleasing. To me, kiwi smell is an imagined smell. If you smell a kiwi, it really doesn't smell like much. It's got a freshness to it, and that freshness translates here. But any of that fruitiness and freshness is sort of gone within, I'd say, an hour, and you're left with the same base of Loda EC. Now, is that a bad thing? Well, I guess that depends on how much you like the original, and maybe if you already have the original. You could probably tell that I've used this quite a bit already. Take a look at that. And it's because I do like it a lot, but it's also because it's very light, and I don't think it's possible to overkill with this scent. It's sort of like a Creed, that if you're spraying a lot of it, you're just spraying layers of freshness. And it's not the same quality as a Creed, trust me, not at all. It's lacking any semblance of that ambergris that gives Creed its trademark base and longevity. But it does have a nice, fresh, fruity, and fun opening that eventually turns into the Loda EC base. I think a woman could pull this off, but it's more of a men's scent. Longevity is decent. I think you can expect about 4 to 6 hours with this scent. Projection's about average. I go with about 6 sprays of this, 1 on my neck and chest, 1 in each wrist, and then 1 on each inner arm. And trust me, you're not going to offend anyone with that much of it. It's very light and transparent. I would say any guy 16 and up could wear this scent. At 40, it might be a little too silly for a serious man. They might not want something with this big-ass kiwi on the bottle. But I don't regret buying this at all. But I do sort of regret falling into the summer flanker trap that for the most part I avoided my whole life. Flankers are more often than not that good. I think it's rarer that you're going to get a Dior Home Sport than you're going to get a CKB. You know what I'm saying? And I don't mind having 1 or 2 summer flankers in my collection. I know that Mark, Robes 08, really likes the 2009 version of this. So maybe if I have a chance, I'll check that one out. Or another one of the CK1 summer flankers. But for the most part, I've never been a huge summer flanker guy, and I think that was wise of me. I'm giving this a 5 out of 10 for me. It's a pleasant scent and one I'll wear and enjoy, but I don't think it's going to be a huge compliment getter or show up in my summer starting lineup video. So that is the deal with this fragrance. Now, I just wanted to give you a little bit of news with regards to the show. This week coming up, I've missed the last 2 weeks of the midweek show, which is usually a grooming or shaving show or a decant show. And that's because I've been a little under the weather, dealing with a health issue that I hope is putting behind me now. And so we will be back definitely this Wednesday with another sample shopping episode. I have a deal lined up with the decant shop for you guys to be able to pick up samples at a discounted rate. We're going to go over 3 samples. And then next week, we're going to have another niche review, probably from the House of Acqua di Parma from Italy, their blue line. So that's coming up. And then 2 special videos coming up in July. Just wanted to let you guys know about. I'm almost at the 75 bottle mark. So we're going to have my first collection video in July. You know, it's not a huge collection, but it's not small either. You know, I'm picking up about 8-9 cents a month, so I figure by the end of the year I should have about, you know, 125, 130. You know, I live in New York City. I live on the Upper East Side. I only have X amount of dollars to spend. Life is expensive here, so I'm doing the best I can with it. And you know, so we'll do that collection video in July, and then we're going to do. I did a spring starting lineup video in the beginning of spring, in the middle of spring, and so in July I'm going to do my summer starting lineup video with all new scents. And so you can look forward for that, and going forward, look forward for the 2 videos every week. Middle of the week, it's either going to be a decant, quick scent video, a grooming video, or a shaving product review video, and then at the end of the week, of course, we alternate week to week. One week we do a designer fragrance, the week after that we do a niche. So we're doing a niche next week, and so next week it looks like it's going to be an Acqua di Parma blue line, and then the week after that it looks like we're going to be doing my first Chanel fragrance, which I'm really excited about. So that's it. That is this week's episode of Maximilian Must Know. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and comment. And love you all very much. Thank you for watching. I am Maximilian, and I must know.
The only thing bleak spinning is them chrome wheels spinning on them new rims. Home suspended from school again. I'm grown, still ill.